Welcome back to another episode of Wuthering Waves haters making themselves look like absolute idiots. We have quite a banger for you today. Enjoy. This is when I asked if people thought Wuthering Waves or Genshin Impact was better. Everyone was giving their valid opinion. Let me navigate to YouTube real quick and show you the community post in specific. So this was the poll in question. Which gacha game is better overall? All things combined. This was the result of the poll I held, and you can see 2% of people voted Tower of Fantasy. That's their entire player base right there. And that is where this comment came into being. You really think Wuthering Waves is better? Once again, 89% of the people, 89% of 13,000 people voted Wuthering Waves. This guy says, you really think Wuthering Waves is better? LOL. First of all, Wuthering Waves exists because of Genshin. And I just want to stress this. Wuthering Waves technically exists because of Breath of the Wild. Genshin exists because of Breath of the Wild. Every open world gacha game that is like Genshin exists because of Breath of the Wild. Second, of all, Honkai Star Rail is better at revenue. Okay, cool. Fascinating. Genshin has reached patch 5 and Wuthering hasn't. LOL. Take that. Plus ratio, plus GG's. Okay, cool. Yeah. The reason Genshin Impact is better than Wuthering Waves, chat, is because Honkai Star Rail has better revenue. Okay, that's actually, it has better revenue than Genshin too. How does Honkai Star Rail's revenue being higher than Wuwa's make Genshin better than Wuwa? And then beyond that, the reason Genshin Impact is better than Wuthering Waves is because Genshin has reached patch 5.0 and Wuthering Waves has not reached patch 5.0. LOL, ratio, GG's. Right, Twitch, this is the funniest comment ever. Like, how do we argue against such resoundingly sound arguments and logic? There is no option to do so. You cannot do that. Genshin is better because Genshin is older. Yeah, that is the logic here. That is the logic behind this. But I mean, by this train of thought, Wuthering Waves is better than Zenless Zone Zero, which is not true. Zenless and Wuwa are very different games and are both incredible in their own areas. But this logic is that Wuthering Waves is better than Zenless. If Wuwa hits 4.0 before Honkai Star Rail hits 4.0, then Wuwa is just, purely based off of the number, a better game. The logic escapes me, chat. Must be a 5-year-old. Well, this guy just got ratioed, so I guess we can call that a GG as well. Moving on. Now, Ting TV says, the funny thing is that someone on TikTok said, Genshin Impact is more free to play than Wuthering Waves, even though the game can buy every farming items in the shop. So we're not arguing with Ting here. Ting just brought a comment to my attention. And that comment was that Genshin Impact is more free-to-play friendly than Wuthering Waves. More free-to-play friendly. I'm sorry, it doesn't matter which game is better, because I think both Genshin and Wuwa are better in different aspects, right? Different areas. But one area that Genshin is unequivocally worse in, without a shadow of a doubt, it's free-to-play friendliness. It's gacha. Genshin is in no way more free-to-play friendly than Wuthering Waves. So, by this person's logic, Genshin, which, by the way, has, what? Soft pity at 90, right? And then a hard pity at 180, right? For a limited, for a banner. When Wuwa's is at 80 and 160. Genshin, which has a 50-50 for the weapon banner, if I recall, right? Where Wuthering Waves does not have a 50-50 for the weapon banner. By that alone, Wuthering Waves is exponentially more free-to-play friendly, right? I don't see how anyone can make the argument that Genshin is more free-to-play friendly than Wuthering Waves is. Maybe that's just me. He doesn't state really why the person seems to think this, but Genshin's exploration features locked behind limited canners. In what world is it free to play friendly? That's another good point, and that is actually one of the things that I stressed in Neverness to Everness. Having your wall run ability be gated behind a character, the redheaded girl, is a bad choice, a bad direction. We don't need exploration traversal mechanics locked behind characters. They should be built into the game by default. Like flying in WUA 2.0. No singular character should be able to do that. Wall running should be a feature every character can utilize. It's funny that even Tower of Fantasy got that right, where Genshin just shit the bed by locking traversal mechanics behind a character. True. Very true. Right, next. I found this one very funny. Do we even need to comment on this one? Do we even need to comment on that one? This guy is like, I don't even care about Wuthering Waves. Zenless Zone Zero is better than Genshin. He's just like, nah, Zenless is where it's at, man. Zenless is a better game. Fuck WUA. Yeah, Zenless. That is the real MVP of today's reacting to idiots segment. All right, here's another one. Oh, this is a long one. Why are Hoyo shills always comparing player count and revenue, but never at the actual content of the game? So this is not this guy complaining. We're not here to make fun of Sam Rockwell 940, but the reason I screenshotted this was because he made a very good point. Why are players always comparing player count and revenue, but they're never actually comparing the content of the game itself? Which is true. When you look at haters online, they're like, WUA has low revenue. WUA, you know, on the gacha revenue side is in the red. WUA has low player count, but nobody's ever like, oh, you know what? WUA actually doesn't compare to Genshin in this area. You know, the characters in Genshin make Wuthering Waves characters look inferior. The combat in Genshin is vastly superior. The free-to-play friendliness well, I mean, there was that comment earlier that did claim the free-to-play friendliness was better in Genshin, which was hilarious. But this comment is entirely true. They argue based off of artificial, speculative sources rather than real, legitimate things that you could make comparison to. So he goes on to then say, maybe because they know Genshin is simply worse in every single department other than being able to squeeze as much money as they can from their player base using some sort of the most disgusting and predatory practices. That is a very, very bold statement to make. I don't entirely agree with that. I do think Genshin does excel in some areas over WUA, and I will ardently argue that. I don't think WUA is a better game, you know, entirely than any other game. But, well, maybe other than Tower of Fantasy, maybe Ni no Kuni Cross Worlds, Noah's Heart, you know, open world gacha games that are actually bad. All right, here is the last comment for today, chat. I know you're enjoying this, but this guy, Asterion, says, oh, Wuthering Waves open world is so massive. It is so impressive. A perfect place to wander aimlessly while pretending something interesting might actually happen. Sure, keep calling it immersive exploration. If that helps you sleep at night, go on. Tell me, how does it feel to be a tourist in a wasteland of missed potential? Sorry. I'm utterly captivated by your enthusiasm for mediocrities. This is a Twitter comment. Yeah, there are actually more entertaining ones on Twitter than in my comment section. Your world is so immersive and so impressive. You wander aimlessly pretending something interesting might actually happen. Dude, I have had so much fun wandering the world in WUA. It has been an immense amount of fun. I don't know where this comment comes from. Clearly, this is a comment made from someone that spent 15 minutes in the tutorial, looked out at the world, said there isn't really anything to do, logged out of the game, deleted it from his computer, and never touched it again, and then proceeds to 7 months after release, keep on making wild claims like this. Truly a Asterion main here. I can tell he's not played the game. Yeah, this is the comment of someone that has not played the game. That's like logging into Zenless and saying that Zenless has a crappy story with terrible cutscenes and really bad, plain, ordinary combat. The opposite is true. Great cutscenes, really good story, and great combat too. But if you play it for the first, hour of Zenless, you're probably gonna go, come out from it saying, God, this is boring. But the more you play it, the more you come to realize Zenless is a really good game. The more you play WUA, the same thing happens. This is a comment from someone that quit the game in less than an hour. 100%. Asterion is a clown? No, that would be doing a disservice to clowns, man. No, that'd be offensive to clowns. No, definitely not. You can't go 5 steps in the open world without running into a puzzle, an echo, a chest, or a quest. Exactly, there's so many things happening. Hey, where do you think you're going? I see what you're doing there. I see you navigating on over, scrolling on over to that X button. Don't you dare. What I need you to do is take a moment and click one of the videos that are about to appear as soon as I'm done talking. And trust me, you're gonna want it.